Hi, good morning. My name is Sergi Arbusa. I'm founder and creative of Penique Productions, and we do this. We do inflatable and ephemeral installations in relation with architecture. Well, we are inside Matria, the work that we delivered for Now or Never Festival, and we are very happy with it because we had the opportunity to work in such important building and architectural interesting, its history and Victorian aesthetics of Royal Exhibition Building. So we are very happy that our first time in Melbourne was in this huge, amazing place. And the main inspiration is the space, is the building. I hope the people, first of all, experiment some kind of wow effect, like wow. But then I'm open that the people feel what they feel. I mean, it's an open work. What I like the people know conceptually is that this is an inflatable. So inflatable and architecture becomes the same. Yeah, the material that we work is low density polyethylene, 100% recycled. Is the garbage bag plastic with some additives that make it fireproof. So we get all this material from here, and when we finish, we'll take it back to the supplier so they can just keep it, recycling it, and do it other bags. Thanks to all the people involved in the project to have the opportunity to be here in this amazing building. And I also want to invite all the people to come here, join us, and hopefully enjoy it.
This month, the Art Orchestra is premiering a new work titled Aneta Abia at the Art Centre for Asia Topa. And the work looks at the intersection of jazz and improvised music and Peraveta, which is a choral tradition from Papua New Guinea. Collaborating with us on this work is the Tatana Village Choir, which is a 12-piece choir from my home village in Port Moresby called Tatana. The message in this is that there's a lot more that we share, particularly with Papua New Guinea. There's shared practice, and that's what we're highlighting in this work, is that our two nations tied together in all sorts of ways. We're really talking about a regional language of music that we all share, and a way of creating new traditions together is creating new work and experimentation and finding the intersection points that we can use when we perform together. And so that's what the work is really exploring.
Hi, my name is Adam Noviello and I play Yitzhak in Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Guten Morgen, my name is Sean Miley Moore and I play the blonde diva songstress from East Communist Berlin, Hedwig.
So Hedwig and the Angry Inch is an iconic rock musical written by John Cameron Mitchell, and it tells the story of a singer-songwriter from East Berlin, and the whole story is about her reclaiming her narrative after these horrendous traumatic things have happened to her. It's a universal story of finding love and acceptance within yourself and choosing joy in spite of what the world throws at you.
It really is a story about self-acceptance, liberation, to be who you are.
She's this genderqueer artist, and she's complex and she's fabulous.
This story always remains such a beacon of such a community spirit, trans spirit, non-binary spirit. I'm up there reclaiming the stage, and she's reclaiming her story and her narrative and saying that I will not be erased, and that is such a powerful thing.
Today we've got an incredible day. We've got 300 people who volunteered to help us move our bookshop. Don't know how many will get moved today. There are 17,000 books here. I don't think we'll get through all those, particularly as the weather's not looking the greatest, but a few thousand anyway. A lot of our customers have been coming here for a lot of years. I've spoken to a number of people along the line, and they have been coming, some have been coming here since the 60s. We started off by opening up the registration for 150 people, but then we had to open it up again because we had 300 people. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, and we're just very grateful.
My name is Miranda Wallace and I'm Senior Curator of International Exhibitions here at the National Gallery of Victoria. So I'm standing in one of the rooms of our current Melbourne Winter Masterpieces exhibition, French Impressionism, from the Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. It's an incredible exhibition of over 100 works from the MFA, which is one of North America's absolutely best collections of many forms of art, but in particular 19th century French art. We have a room full of, for example, 16 Monet paintings, but also in the room you're in here, we're seeing works by Camille Pissarro alongside all of the artists that he learnt from and also that he taught himself myself. Choosing a favourite in this exhibition is very hard, and it's very subject to mood. I would say I spent a lot of time reading about the works that are in the urban realism section, which is really the room of the exhibition with the most figures in it. I think working with Dr. Katie Hansen, who was the curator in Boston, who provided this extraordinary checklist for us to exhibit here, their paintings are really beautiful, and the exhibition does, I think, bring a lot of joy. So that's something I'm really looking forward to our audiences here in Melbourne experiencing.
Often you see exhibitions where you feel like people rush past the works and perhaps don't engage with each work, but it's been really lovely to see people slowing down, reading the labels for the works, looking at the works in detail, and really following, I think, Ishmael Marika's invitation at the beginning of the exhibition to slow down and walk with us. I think people come into the exhibition and are mindful of that and have slowed down and are trying to absorb what is in these incredible works. What's so incredible in terms of art practice in northeastern Arnhem Land is that there are generations of artists who have made artworks, and each generation really informed by the generation that has come before and holding on to that sense of cultural inheritance and always adhering to that, but offering a sense of innovation within it as well. So not being constrained by that history and that previous practice. There is amazing use of materials from what people, I think, would expect, those natural materials from country, natural pigments on bark and wood, also prints and works on paper, crayon drawings on paper, to every other kind of material that you can think of, whether that's discarded MDF board from a Bangarra dance theatre to a water tank, or the Molko project working within the realm of the digital. So at the centre of the exhibition is Rari Rari by the Molko project with Mrs. Wapanda, a really amazing immersive work where images of Mrs. Wapanda's paintings are animated and projected onto and trail across a three-dimensional form that is reminiscent of a termite mound, and it's accompanied by this extraordinary audio of Mrs. Wapanda herself and her family singing about country and the sounds of country, and you hear that throughout the other surrounding spaces in the exhibition to really evoke those songs of country that are behind each of the works in the exhibition, but just through that one work. I mean, such a privilege to work on an exhibition like this with the Art Centre in Yirrkala, Bukalangai Molka, an amazing art centre, and just the generosity of the staff there. And obviously, at times it can be a big ask to work with an institution like the gallery when you're an art centre in community trying to deal with the day-to-day operations of the art centre. But it's not the gallery doing something, it's working in really close partnership on absolutely everything with the exhibition.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander artists are creating the very best of work, on this continent. It celebrates the incredible diversity within our communities, and it really is a platform to showcase emerging artists that are coming out of communities across the continent.
So finding signboards are actually not that easy because we have to go out bush to look for something that's old and rusty.
I just wanted you to see the lifestyle that we live in my community. And so my grandmother was born on this river, and she's also now buried on the river. This story is from inside. It's from the community. It's from me and my people. I just like the young people to look at the image and be proud of who they are.
A lot of my practice is based in photography and in archives. So for me, it felt kind of natural to, I suppose, go towards Google Earth because there are images of country on there. I like to think of these works as kind of a glitch or a tear in the myth of Terra Nullius, but also considering biases of photography technology as well as Western systems of mapping. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, we're adaptive, we're innovative, we're constantly shifting. I think this is kind of a testament to the way we've always worked and always made.
I think, it's really just about honouring our artists and the way that they're able to share their stories, which I think is the most remarkable part.
Miriam Stanage was one of the artists that did not want her art to be viewed through the lens of being a woman artist. She never signed Miriam Stanage, she put M Stanage. And in this instance, it feels like this is much more a portrait by Miriam because it speaks of a particular individual with their fingerprint, but it doesn't reveal an actual face. And so she always concealed her biographical information. She wanted the art to engage directly with the viewer, and she did not want her information front and centre.